So, a few days ago I went through some of my old photos on Flickr and I found an album that almost every photo in it was decent quality and it kind of caught my eye. And I went into it and I seen that those are photos taken with Xiaomi's Mi Note 10. And I kind of forgot about that phone. Then I went a bit on GSM Arena to look into it, and I've seen that it's kind of special phone for Xiaomi because it is first Xiaomi's phone with curved screen, first phone to have a 108 megapixel camera, first phone to have 5 cameras on the back, and yeah, I decided to go to YouTube to see how this phone matured during the last 2 years, and I was surprised that almost no one made nice review of it in 2022. So I decided to buy one online for 130 euros. And here's my review of it in 2022. Okay, first of all, this is a beautiful phone. It has a curved screen, it has this nice white pearlish kind of color, and it has big camera on the back that gives it a premium feel. It's all glass built with aluminum frame. So yeah, even for today's standards, it's a beautiful phone. You can see that design is kind of inspired by Huawei P30 Pro. And as for hardware, that's kind of interesting mix. You get AMOLED screen that's for 2019 actually a flagship screen, and it's pretty bright, 600 nits of brightness, and it supports HDR10. It also has Gorilla Glass 5, okay, and you get 6 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of internal storage. You get 5260 milliamps battery with fast charging of 30 watts. And you get flagship cameras. It really does have flagship cameras. I'll talk about them in a minute. The only thing that's not flagship, and that is a killer of this phone actually, it's a processor. The Snapdragon 730G, even though it's a good mid-ranger, it is not suited for 108 megapixel cameras or 27 megapixel output photos. So yeah, performances of this phone are its biggest weakness, but it's not trash. It will not kill your apps, it will not freeze, it will just do everything any other phone does, but it will do it slowly. Okay. Now let's go to the most interesting part of this phone, and that is its camera. So in my opinion, this is still the best camera setup you can get on any phone. Okay, the best. You get huge main sensor, okay, huge 108 megapixel main sensor that outputs 27 megapixel photos. You get 2 telezoom cameras, the 50 millimeter one or 2 times zoom. It has huge sensor that is used as, let's say, main camera on Google Pixel 4 and 5. Okay, so they use that sensor on zoom camera. The second zoom camera is 3.7 optical zoom. That's around, let's say, 94 millimeters. 4 camera is ultra wide. It also has a big sensor. And the last one is macro camera. We don't need to talk about it, but yeah, it's there. So whatever you take photo of this phone, whatever or what, in any condition, you'll get a decent photo. Okay, you can use the normal Xiaomi's camera software, but if you switch to Gcam, you'll get results like this. As you can see, video is also great. It maxes out at 4K 30 frames per second, but details are great, stabilization is great, sound recording is great, autofocus is really fast, and you can also take some decent snaps from it. As for the software side, it is good to see that even older phones from Xiaomi get newest MIUI 13. Sadly, it's still on Android 11, but it will probably get Android 12 sometimes in the future. And even if it doesn't, that's okay, as long as it gets security updates and MIUI updates. And would I recommend this phone in 2022? Well, if you don't mind a bit slower processor, if you have knowledge and will to tamper with Gcam, you will get probably the best camera out there.